Ladies and gentlemen, Baggedmilk from Oilers Nation.
Good morning.
Oilersnation Golf Tournament. You guys have established the date. What is it?
August 30th. It's a Thursday.
Okay, put that down on your calendar. And
you guys were there last year.
We were, yes.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
We drank a lot.
Jimmy was dressed up as little Ryan Smith.
Yeah, Mini Smitty.
Mini Smitty.
I don't have my golf clubs.
I think we still got those at the office.
Still has them at the office. You know what? And I've talked to Adam about 4 or 5 times about, I'll bring them. Yeah, we'll hook up. And I'm like, never happened. Anyway, the sign up thing is happening right now. So if I wanted to take part in this Oilersnation Golf Tournament, I could.
You can, yeah. You can go to nationgear.ca. It's at the top of the page. We got a couple of links there that you can look around and check out the details.
If I recall, last year was your first year, right?
Last year was the first year we ever threw a golf tournament, and we didn't really know how it was going to go.
It was a bit of a success, I would say.
It was a great day.
Yeah.
We had a lot of drink holes, a lot of food holes. We just had a great time. It was a really good group of people, and we had a great day.
So you got one under your belt. You made your mistakes. You guys are going to be flying this year.
Well, I mean, you'd think so, right? To be honest, by the end of the day, we were all a little bit foggy after a couple of cocktails in the sun.
Anyway, if you want to join us at the Oilersnation Golf Tournament in August, you might want to sign up sooner than later. That one, you guys came up with it late in the season last year. It was sort of a last-minute thing, and it still sold out. So there's a lot of interest in Oilers Nation and hanging out with you guys. So I wouldn't be surprised if this one sells out again quickly.
We're definitely gonna sell out.
Okay, so get on that sooner than later. Garth Snow, Doug Waite firing. You want to weigh in on that?
A little bit surprised. Though at the same time, not surprised. Lou Lamoriello came over from Toronto. Not exactly a big deal that a guy would want to bring in his own staff. I would have thought that the Islanders would have kept Garth Snow on as like a president of trading with Peter Chiarelli because he seems to win those all the time. But, I guess that wasn't meant to be.
Is Garth Snow insane?
Well, isn't it him that signed Rick DiPietro to that huge deal?
I don't know. I think they're still paying him for that.
Yeah, he's like a couple years left.
They signed him to like a 15-year contract or something.
He played 2 years and then got knocked out by Brent Johnson.
Does anybody ever hear anything normal about Garth Snow, though? It's always something weird. Like,
even when he played, he was one of those guys that wore those giant shoulder pads. He looked like a lacrosse goalie. I don't know. Maybe something's going on with him. I don't really know too much about him.
And how long when does Doug Waite start with the Oilers?
Yeah, I assume he's going to be some kind of advisor here within the next day or so.
Specialty
he's not
coach
already.
Or something like that.
Why not?
Is craft services full? Can we get an ex-Oiler involved in craft services? Okay, we want to touch on something that was behind the scenes and might be a little bit inside baseball. We're going to do it anyway. So last week we were talking about the burner phones.
Yeah, Brian Colangelo.
Yes, well, he had burner accounts on Twitter.
Yeah,
and he was criticizing his team and his staff through fake Twitter accounts.
He had like 5 fake Twitter accounts.
It's the best.
And anyway, so we were bouncing this around, and I got Bob Stauffer is he's an Edmonton legend. I mean,
yeah, the play-by-play guy, the color guy for the Edmonton Oilers on Ched.
Jack is a great play-by-play guy too.
I love the way he calls the game. Jack does a great job.
I think he's really good. And he's Stoff, right? I mean, I think he knows the game. Oh, yeah. And I like he's a bit crotchety. I actually enjoy his contribution. I don't really listen to his show like on the other station. We'll leave it at that. But his call, I like. His color, I like.
He is just a wealth of knowledge.
He is an interesting duck, too. I used to work with him. We're not going to get into that. But I was in the same building with him for more than a year. And Bob never said one word to me. Not once, ever. Last week, he was listening to this segment and sent me a DM and basically was chastising you for using the moniker Baggedmilk. Now,
yeah,
because he's attributing that
to being a burner account,
to being a fake account.
No, that's my account.
Okay.
Yeah,
No.
you're not hiding.
No, like,
You're
I mean,
not
we
pretending to be.
I'm not pretending to be anything other than an idiot.
Yeah.
I know it. We
It
throw.
kind of is your brand, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, we throw dozens of charity events a year. I'm always there. People can come say hi to Baggedmilk if they want.
They know where they can find you. You're not. It's not a secret Twitter account.
I'll tell them my real name if they ask. It's I mean, like, no surprise. My parents didn't name me Baggedmilk. I was a 20-year-old kid.
You should legally change it.
You know what? I've been thinking about it. I was thinking about changing my middle name to Baggedmilk, like, legally. It'd be so funny. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I came up with this dumb name when I was 20. I feel like I've told this story 100 times now.
Yeah.
I never expected it to turn into a career.
And it did.
It did. So they want me to be Baggedmilk, so here I am.
Okay.
It's Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea. It's the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, my last name is Kraus. It's not Cross.
Yeah.
When I got into radio, which was 112 years ago, I didn't come up with fire, but I knew the guy that did.
Weren't you LJ the DJ?
Yeah, I was LJ the DJ. That was my first name. Okay, but it was a time when everybody had a fake name, right? And so that was what you did. And I wanted to keep my first name because Lochlin is actually my first name.
Weird name, yeah.
I ended up fighting with one of the program directors and just sort of conceded in changing my last name because he said Lochlin Kraus was too ethnic. So I went, well, Cross, because half the people that I knew called me Cross anyway. So I just went with that. And I'm not hiding from anybody. It's just your name, your brand. Lochlin Cross becomes who you are, right? So I understand what he's saying, that you have a sort of a fake name. So should you be criticizing this guy for fake accounts? But I didn't sort of get the context of it, but I thought we'd bring it up.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, Bob, thanks for listening. I think that if we want to walk through what a burner account is, we can do that. My Baggedmilk account is not a burner account. That's just my personal account. I talk about my life, my dog, live tweet Teen Mom, talk Oilers, all the embarrassing things that I'll own personally.
Beats.
Yeah, I eat beets. Like, it's a thing. I don't know.
It's a little too, like, I've met some people in this business, in this world that we live in, and I know their real names, but I cannot call them by and you're one of them. There's a handful of people like Yukon Jack. I cannot call him Paul. He's got friends that call him Paul. It just doesn't work for me. I cannot do it. I still hang out with Paul every once in a while. Yukon, whatever the hell you want to call him. Mm-hmm. And Paul just doesn't feel right. I can't call you Mike. It just doesn't feel right. It's like bagged or bagged milk. It's one of those things where it doesn't roll off the tongue. Like,
yeah, for a while, I mean, it was weird having people come up to me and call me Baggedmilk to my face when I'm in my 30s. But you know what? I embraced it, and I kind of, it is what it is. It's just a branding thing.
Yeah.
It's there's nothing more than that. Not to mention, I don't really think that blogging about the Oilers, giving my opinion about the Oilers. I'm just a fan, by the way. I'm not pretending to be a journalist by any means. I don't care about press credentials. I also, it's a fun thing to do. I don't think that anything about covering the Oilers is overly serious. Yeah. Let's not pretend that we're curing cancer here. So a guy calling himself Baggedmilk with dumb takes on the Oilers, it is what it is. It's just for fun.
You know what I find interesting is that people are like, hold you guys, the bloggers and whatnot, accountable on that level, though. You're thrown into the mix with journalists, and there's you get a little bit of hate in that regard.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's funny because at the end of the day, we're just dudes. I would be saying the same thing to you if we were having a beer at the pint as I would on Twitter or as I would on The Nation. I'm the same guy, no matter where I'm at. I've just got takes. The luxury I have is I get to spread my horrible takes from a very large platform.
Well, and the other thing, too, the other luxury is somebody isn't paying your bills and telling you how to have that take. So, you know what I'm saying?
Because you don't have the press credentials. And
Yeah, I'm a fan that pays to get in the building, and I'm happy about that. I don't have to pretend to be unbiased. I'm very biased. I love the Oilers, and I get really mad when they do things that I don't appreciate. And as a paying fan, I feel like I have a right to do that.
And I think that's probably why the Oilers Nation is actually growing so much, because it is just a bunch of dudes in a room with T-shirts that have hockey logos on them.
Quick question, hockey question. How much trouble would it be for you to win the Stanley Cup in Vegas, which Washington could do this week.
Good Lord, I would die. I was thinking about it. I was thinking about
all that
2000.
Stanley Cup bonus money.
Yeah, I was thinking about 2006, just as a fan. Yeah. I would go down to White Ave every second night, get blasted off my face, go into work the next morning, hungover like crazy. If that was the Strip, I may have died.
There he is, Baggedmilk. Thanks for the visit, buddy.
Anytime.